Pfizer acquiring weight loss drug startup Metsera for $10 billion. This following a battle with Ozempic maker Novo Nordisk. Pfizer has also recently partnered with the federal government to bring most favored nation pricing to those with Medicaid, aiming to lower drug costs for Americans all across the country. And not to forget, we're coming up on the 6-year anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic. Under CEO Albert Bourla, Pfizer partnered with BioNTech to start developing its vaccine in mid-January 2020. By December, the FDA had granted emergency authorization of the vaccine. Over 5 billion doses have been distributed globally. For a deep dive on keeping the world healthy and what the future of medicine looks like as AI takes over, Dr. Albert Bourla, Pfizer Chairman and CEO, joins me now at Invest. Good to see you.
Very good to see you, Brian.
I can't believe it's been 6 years.
It is, yeah, time flies.
Time flies. Let's start on some more news over the past few weeks. You had that battle with Novo for Metsera. Why is this asset so important to Pfizer's future?
First of all, why obesity is important, it is the question, and it is because we have the right to win in this space. We are a company that basically we made the primary care market. We are a company that we know how to run big, global, complicated trials with a lot of people in vaccines or cardiovascular. We are a company that know how to manufacture at scale. You mentioned COVID before. And we are, of course, a company that we have a field force that is ranked #1 consecutive in the last 10 years in the US, particularly the primary care field of it.
Metsera, I'm thinking, is it's a drug that's going to help people fight obesity. And Pfizer ups its bid to $10 billion. So that lets you know that it's very valuable to them. They really want to acquire it because they're willing to pay $10 billion for it. The topic of this video is more so AI. But I just wanted to kind of set the grounds of what Pfizer is looking to do and what's very, very important to Pfizer right now. And we're gonna see what they're saying here about Bitcoin. If I can just kind of get to the place here. And this is the CEO of Pfizer, as he was sitting down to discuss with Yahoo Finance's Invest segment on the company, the strategy, and this CEO was standing amongst Trump when he had we had that press conference talking about the big pharma and stuff like that. So it's a lot of important information for the American people when it comes to this here. So let's see. Okay, so it's
license from U.S. produced anti-obesity drugs.
I want to leave a little time for AI. We're having a lot of great, interesting AI chats here at Invest, talking to several folks on how it might impact retail. But how do you see AI impacting the future of medicine?
I think it will be a profound impact. I think there are things that AI is ready to do now, and we are taking big advantage of that. AI cannot do everything, but I think it can do today more things than most companies are utilizing. I think the name of the game will be how companies will be able to integrate into the processes, into their operations, business processes and operations, the AI. And that will be a challenge, as with every new technology, but it is disruptive because it will change the way that we work, will create anxiety to people, there will be resistance and all of that. So we have a very open and educational session with our employees. We make sure that they are well trained, they understand the language of AI, they understand what they can do with AI, and we see that instead of resisting, they are inviting AI to come in. But there are things that technology cannot do yet, but they will. And this is where the most exciting things in drug discovery and development are coming.
So, he doesn't want to give all the pieces of, how they're going to use AI, but as he was saying, they're getting their workforce, sold on the ideal or okay with the idea that AI is going to be a tool. as he was saying, AI can't do everything. AI can't. It's certain things that technology is not gonna be able to do yet because it's gonna continue to advance. But they're able to incorporate it into what they do on a daily, and I'm sure they're going to be using it to assist with the creation of more medication and drugs, things that they use within their industry. I want to go over here to a firm CEO, and he's going to discuss how AI is being
AI isn't
incorporated.
just transforming tech, it's making its mark across industries. One industry already seeing change, payments and retail. We've seen the likes of Walmart, Shopify, Etsy, and Lowe's partnering with OpenAI to integrate AI tools into the shopping experience.
Okay, so I just once again, OpenAI, their secure deals with multiple retailers, some of the top, as you see in what they do, e-commerce with Shopify and Etsy, Walmart, which is retail and e-commerce, Lowe's, which is also retail and e-commerce. AI is going to be integrated into pretty much every industry that can find some type of use for it. And you know, this is one of those things where it's like now, the price to get in and invest is very low, but I don't feel like it'll always stay that way. Um, so it's definitely something that we want to look into, and especially like when you see companies like Nvidia start rising and stuff like that. Um, so you definitely want to do your research, and um, if you're able to get into some of these industries as far as being an investor, make sure you hold it, and just give it 10, give it 20 years, keep your money into it, and see how you are on the other side of that. Um, it's definitely something that I'm looking into, definitely something I'm dollar cost averaging into. So, I don't like to give financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but this is just thoughts from, just thoughts from a man who is getting more versed into investing and just getting more knowledge into, how these companies are going to be using AI, and how it's still at an infancy age. It's still at an infancy stage, to where it has plenty of room to grow.
Let's bring in a key name in this sector, Max Levchin, the CEO and founder of a firm. He also co-founded PayPal, and he is a prominent venture capitalist through his firm, Sci-Fi VC. Max, so great to spend some time with you as always. Thank you for doing this, coming to us, I believe, from another country.
Fast forward to
AI, and I think
parts here.
the later going to generate it, and so it's always easy to get scared and sort of try to look for a unelectrified dark cave from where you can finally hide from all the ills of society. But it's much more fun to imagine what tool you can bring to bear to combat the whatever darkness scares you.
I don't know what this says about me, Max, but my X feed is filled with robot videos. Elon posting robot videos of his own. Those seem to work well, but I've seen other videos of these humanoid robots trying to cook an egg. They can't do it. They fall apart, run into a mirror. I mean, some of these videos are ridiculous. Are you a big believer in the humanoid being a major contributor to the economy, and is it all coming for our jobs?
I don't think it's coming for our jobs. I think so. I'm a huge believer in this notion that AI and embodied AI is a collection of tools for us to lead better lives, to do more. We're all going to be smarter because these systems have PhDs on any given topic. They can educate us, they can bring us along, they can help us be more decisive. Once we get to robots that can cook an egg, which I think we're a few steps away from, just because it's a much harder problem. Bits are inherently easier to manage than atoms, and we're a little bit farther away from managing atoms. But we'll get there too. It will open up our world to do more interesting, more intellectually stimulating jobs. And there will be someone who will lament the loss of their manual labor. But I think it's pretty similar to sort of, it used to be real. I would hammer a piece of metal with my hammer, and that was real work. And now we have these machines that just do die cutting and casting, and that happened a couple times in history, and we've always done better for ourselves as a species. So I'm not at all worried about the loss of jobs. I do think the robots are coming. I would definitely invest a few serious cycles into making sure we don't end up in the sort of a Skynet universe. Not so much because the robots will evolve consciousness and want to kill us all, but because there are plenty of people out there who would want to wreak havoc by breaking into these robots' operating systems and doing bad things. So security is important, safety is important.
Cybersecurity guys. If you're young, or even if you're not so young, and you're looking for a change of field or something to get into, cybersecurity, because as you just said, with all new technology, there's going to be bad actors who are going to want to break into it and rig it to do some type of bad. So being able to be one of the front lines and combat that, I mean, you can literally name your price. You can literally name your price. I'm gonna see if I could um, get to one other session. Well, I think he's coming up on it now, and then I'll look to go ahead and close this video out.
And I think we're going to solve those problems.
I wanted to get some thoughts on leadership, Max. You and I always talk about earnings. We got shot of account. We talk about profit margins, but we could talk about some leadership things here because we are at a all-day event. Here's one for you. You've seen the evolution of tech from the early 2000s to now. What would surprise your younger self about the world today?
I think one of the more important traits in a leader, and certainly in a technology entrepreneur, is you can't ever stop being surprised. As I try to make a mental list, like the question isn't what surprises me, it's sort of what surprised me the most today. There's always something unbelievably cool going on. I just saw the news that Waymo will take me from San Francisco to San Francisco airport, which I couldn't do 2 days ago. It's like the greatest thing ever. I love Waymo. It's like the robot car that gives you full privacy, and you sort of ensconced in the back, and feeling like you're in a clamshell, just traveling the world. Now it can take me to my next flight, which is so exciting. And
So as you see, he mentioned Waymo, which is a self-driving car, and like, you get to have privacy, you get to your destination, and he's obviously excited about it. We also know that Tesla is working on its own version of a self-driving taxi type of vehicle, which I'm all for it. Roll them out, as long as they're safe, and as long as they get us, from our point A to our point B, I'm here for it. I'm always, very, very interested in technology, and very, very interested in the future, and also the finances behind everything. So let me see if I could go here to Cisco CEO.
In the year 2000, Cisco was one of the original 4 horsemen of technology. Based on the numbers you gave and what you said on the call, do you feel like customers, the new ones, and investors now understand Cisco's place in this new AI era?
But first of all, thanks for having me. And, I'm super proud of what the teams have accomplished. We had a record quarter and set ourselves up for what's likely going to be the best year we've ever had. So it was just a great performance. And as I've been asked a lot over the last 24 hours to reflect back on 2000, and it's kind of an interesting comparison. But I think that, look, the hyperscalers are some of the most advanced customers in the world. They do the deepest analysis of the technology before they make decisions. And I think that their decisions to continue spending more with us speaks volumes about the innovation and the technology that our teams are building right now. So I'm really proud of them, and I think it'll just extend into the enterprise over time.
Chuck, who are some of those new customers that you've been able to sign in the AI context?
Well, we're just talking about the major hyperscalers, primarily in the United States, but we've also announced these sovereign deals in the Middle East with G42 and the Emirates, as well as Humane and Saudi. There's a lot of work going on in the neocloud space. We're seeing sovereign players start popping up now in parts of Europe as well as Southeast Asia and India. So it's a broad swath of customers. But the 1.3 billion that we talked about is strictly the top hyperscalers that we're doing business with. So you're talking about 5 companies.
And they're good for the money, as you can tell from the cash flow that they have, Chuck. That $200 million that you are expanding into sovereign, you are expanding into enterprise and neoclouds. How do you bake in some of the risks that the market just cannot get enough of talking about, this circular economy?
Well, so we did talk about the fact that we have over $2 billion now in our pipeline through the end of the fiscal year. So over the next 3 quarters in neocloud, sovereign cloud, and enterprise. And we see that continue to accelerate. We took $200 million in orders in Q1. And it's a natural way the technologies have been evolving over the last decade or more. They start in the hyperscalers, they move through the telco space, in this case, the neoclouds and the sovereign players, and then into the enterprise. And it's happening exactly that way. And our bread and butter over the years has been in the enterprise, and we have lots of technology. We have a partner ecosystem. We have full stack solutions. We have security. We have all the things that they're looking for to actually build out AI workloads and deal with AI with confidence.
So, as the CEO was saying, this Chuck Robbins here, Cisco Systems CEO, they're working on infrastructure for AI companies to, securely be able to build out, their AI and, just to make sure that it's secure. They also mentioned a lot of new technologies that they're spearheading. And, as you see with their stock price here, it's going up. And, these are companies that you kind of want to take a look at dollar cost averaging with, because these are companies that's going to work together. They're going to continue to work together in order to advance us into the future with AI. And I even was seeing that the eToro CEO was saying that AI is the next big thing in 2026. So they're already forecasting it. The best thing that you can do now is, like I said, do your research, get versed, and find your way into it, at some capacity. Whether you're an engineer, whether you're doing cybersecurity, whether you're doing development of software and applications, or whether you're just being an investor. Whether you're writing prompts, it's just so many ways that you can kind of enter into the space. But I'm going to go ahead and close the video out. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.